It's the availability of a double barrel magazine extended clips, double barrel magazine extended clips, double barrel magazine extended clips.
The GOSAFE Act needs to go away. Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. And if you like my channel, like my content, and what I do here, you can support me with the link. Everything's appreciated. Once again, PSA, Connecticut residents, if you plan on getting your Connecticut pistol permit, please do your training before July 2024. Now, my word is not getting out there because I have the feeling that I'm being shadowed. So please get the information out. For those of you who see this and hear this, pass it on to other people. Just by word of mouth. Let's get these people, get them going, get your training done before July 2024, because after that, the training is longer, harder, and more expensive for no reason whatsoever other than to disincentivize you from getting your permit to then buy a firearm. That's what this is about. It's not about nobody's safety. It's not going to make things better. It's not going to train people to be better. It's not about that. It never is. Okay, you got to see beyond the bullshit they put out there. But let's talk about this. Representative out of Maine, Angus King, is going to be introducing legislation which he calls the SAFE or the GOSAFE Act. Now, the idea behind this is now, let's go back. Assault weapons ban is usually based on features. He has taken it another step and basically making a law based on function. He is saying that anything that uses a gas system to cycle itself should be banned. And immediately you should raise an eyebrow, because think about all the firearms that are gas operated. So he's talking about across the board a swath of firearms that he is trying to get rid of. Once again, using the very same nonsense and language, much like the bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which was just a gun ban that did nothing to make communities safer. This is the GOSAFE Act. I love how they use that language. I love this language they use. And, for stupid people, hey, you can buy it. But you know good and well, gun bans do not make people safe. Why? Because if you make a law, it's only as good as the person who's going to follow it. And if the person is a criminal, they're not going to follow it, and they're going to keep doing what they do. And you keep slapping these people on the wrist and put them back out in the streets because you got woke DAs funded by George Soros who basically won't prosecute these people. You're going to have chaos. And that's exactly what we got. I want to jump into here. And you're going to get a few chuckles to this, but because I have read this, but King introduces legislation to save lives, protect Second Amendment rights. By creating a ban, he's protecting Second Amendment rights for law-abiding Americans by telling them they can't have certain firearms. Think about this for a minute. This is the wording they put in here. This is ridiculous. Quote, saving lives now and in the future has been my single goal, Senator King says. Okay, well, that's fascinating. Okay, now, in the wake of the mass shooting across the country, including at home in Lewiston, U.S. Senator Angus King, he's going to be voted out next year, will be introducing legislation today with his colleague, Senator Mike Martin Heinrich, Democrat in New Mexico, to curb mass killings without hindering Americans who own a firearm for self-defense, or the marksmen who head to the shooting range or the woods during hunting season. Well, that's very funny because the Second Amendment is not about any of those damn things. Other than self-defense to a degree, but it's not about hunting. Okay, it's not about hunting or being a marksman. But the gas-operated semi-automatic firearms exclusion, GOSAFE Act, will protect communities from gun violence while safeguarding law-abiding Americans' constitutional right to own a firearm for legitimate self-defense, hunting, and sporting purposes. Understand, as I said, you're going to protect the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens by creating a ban. Funny. People are very funny. This bill is also co-sponsored by Senators Mark Kelly, if you know Gabby Giffords' husband, and Michael Bennett, Colorado. Now, For years, I have said that rather than using the appearance of these guns to restrict them, we should instead focus on how these weapons actually work and the features that make them especially dangerous. Like I said, you're going to get a few chuckles out of this, says Senator King. The gas-operated semi-automatic firearms exclusion, GOSAFE Act, addresses the lethal capacity weapons like the one used in Lewiston and most of the deadliest mass shootings across the country. Nothing can bring back the lives of our family and friends, but responsible actions moving forward can reduce the likelihood of such a nightmare happening again in Maine or anywhere else. Now, he's full of crap. Think about the shooting at the college campus in Virginia. The person used 2 handguns and is still one of the unfortunate highest body counts of any one of these so-called school shootings. But he didn't have a gas-operated semi-automatic firearms to do that. He used, I believe he used a Glock 19 and a Walther P22. 2 handguns. Once again, these people are full of crap. Okay? Now, this is from Senator Heinrich, and once again, this is gaslighting crap. Our country is reeling from a gun violence crisis that has taken far too many lives in New Mexico and across the country. Because if you're killed any other way, we don't care. Because more people are killed, and this is a fact, killed by blunt force objects than any firearm, period. But then it's not about your safety. It never is. The American people deserve meaningful action from Congress. That's why I'm introducing the GOSAFE Act, said Senator Heinrich. Like many New Mexicans, I am a gun owner. I firmly believe we must uphold the laws that protect safe and responsible gun ownership with a ban. This bill achieves that while taking steps to get those firearms that are inherently dangerous and unusually lethal, designed for maximum harm, out of the hands of those who pose a threat to themselves or others. Do you not hear the double speak here? Can you not hear the double speak in this whole nonsense that he's going through here? We're going to prevent people who should not have these or inherently dangerous people by telling the law-abiding people you can't have them. Yikes. By giving law enforcement the tools and time needed to keep our communities safe, this pragmatic legislation will save lives, which is a lie. Okay, and then here's Mark Kelly. Don't get me started with him, but once again, as a gun owner, a combat veteran, and a husband of a survivor of gun violence, she was shot with a handgun. Just remember that. I know firsthand the damage a firearm can do to the battlefield or a neighborhood grocery store, said Kelly. And as our country and communities have experienced mass shooting after mass shooting, it's past time we look at fresh approaches to protect Arizona kids and families from the most dangerous weapons. The GOSAFE Act is a targeted bill that protects the rights of responsible gun owners by creating a ban, while regulating the most dangerous semi-automatic firearms, detachable high-capacity magazines, and accessories that have increasingly concerned law enforcement and been used over and over again in mass shootings. Even though we know for a fact that handguns, as far as firearms, just specifically firearms, handguns are the #1 killer of people. We know this. But, and then, of course, I'm not going to get too much deeper into this. Now, of course, the anti-gun community, every town, Sandy Hook Promise, they're all salivating over the stupidity of a bill. And I want to come into here real quick. And here we go. As weapons of war have become commonplace in America, so has the unfathomable carnage they wreak on our community, said John Feinblatt, president of Everytown for Gun Safety. We applaud Senator Heinrich for introducing innovative legislation that would regulate assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, which are capable of creating devastating destruction in an instant. We urge Senator Heinrich's colleagues to pass this bill before yet another community is forever scarred by somebody filled with hate and armed with an AR-15, because if the person does it with a handgun, we don't give a damn about you. If a person does it with a knife, we don't give a damn about you. If a person runs you over in a Christmas parade, we don't give a damn about you. I think these people are absolute charlatans of the worst kind. The worst kind. And I'm going to come over here, Sandy Hook Promise. And I'm going to come down to here. And this is one of the co-founders of Sandy Hook Promise. We applaud Senator Heinrich on the introduction of the GOSAFE Act that will reduce mass shootings and save lives by limiting access to highly lethal firearms and large capacity magazines. Highly lethal firearms. What the hell does that mean? You know, it's like, if you remember, I did a video on where he said that the M1 Garand is exempt from the assault weapons ban because it's not as lethal as an AR-15. Think about that for a minute. The M1 Garand is not as lethal as the AR-15. These people have no clue. They really don't. Okay? Said Mark Barton, co-founder and CEO of Sandy Hook Promise Action Fund and father of Daniel, who was killed at Sandy Hook Elementary School tragedy. These deadly weapons are the preferred firearms of school shooters and pose a threat to every community across the country. You know why they're preferred weapons? Because they see other people doing it. They don't pick these weapons specifically because they're like, ooh, that's going to cause the most carnage. No, they pick these weapons because they see other people doing it and they copycat them. Those in the gun community know good and damn well, if that's what you want to do, an AR-15 is not really a weapon of choice. But it just looks cool because they copycat other people. But when the shooter at Sandy Hook paused to reload, 11 children were able to escape. I never heard that, so I'm not sure if I can fact check that, but I definitely will. If he had a less lethal firearm, what is a less lethal firearm? What the hell is he talking about? What is a less lethal firearm? 380 kills. 380 ACP kills. How is it less lethal? Because it's smaller? Because it's a handgun? And fewer bullets in each magazine that day, maybe my son and others would have survived. We urge Congress to pass these sensible policies, and there's that gaslighting bullshit and language to protect our children from gun violence. Bunch of crap. Sorry. Let's come out of that. Let me be clear about something. You don't make people safe. And you damn sure don't make communities safer by telling law-abiding people what they can and cannot do. And this thing right here, could you imagine if they pass this? I know a lot of you are starting to go through your brain thinking about all the firearms that use a gas operation system that would all of a sudden be banned. Because they claim it will make communities safer. While we got these young thugs out on the streets raising havoc and hell, but they won't put them in jail because it's racist to hold people accountable for their actions. No. We have to tell good people what they can and cannot do, then lie to them and tell them you're going to protect your Second Amendment rights. You know, it's almost like saying, we're here to protect your First Amendment right, but here's a list of words that you can't say. It's the same bullshit. You want to make communities safer? I'm going to give it to you. One, you start putting armed guards at schools. Period. Stop demonizing gun owners. Period. Stop promoting bans. Bans do not make people safer. It actually makes things worse. Look to the cities that have the highest gun control and what is happening. New York, Chicago. You can go on and on. Baltimore, Philadelphia, New Orleans. You can go on and on. And assault weapons are not the weapon of choice in those cases. They are handguns. But this is just another step. It's just that long road that they've been walking down for decades. They're just talking about assault weapons now. And at some point, if they were to get their way, next thing would be handguns. Then it'd be shotguns. Then it'd be hunting rifles. Then it'd be any rifle with a scope on it. This is the slow roll. Don't buy into their bullshit. Bans do not make you safer. They don't work. Because you need the compliance of the people to go along with it in order for it to be effective. And if criminals are not following the law now, what makes you think they're going to follow it down the road? If somebody's going to commit mayhem in a Sandy Hook situation, do you honestly think a gas-operated, safe, semi-automatic firearm exclusionary act is going to stop them from doing what they want to do? That's ignorance. And let's go down the rabbit hole. They know good and well that they cannot be that dense. They can't be that dense to think that this is actually going to stop that. Because maybe they want it to keep going so they can keep passing more laws. Just saying. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.